everybody, and thank you for stopping by for my review of A Quiet Place. So A Quiet Place is a new horror film directed by and starring John Krasinski, who you're probably familiar with as Jim from the American version of The Office. He co-stars with his real wife Emily Blunt, and they play a couple who are trying to raise a family in this world in the not too distant future that's been overrun by these weird alien creatures who are just basically murdering everybody. They're just straight out eating people. And these monsters rely on sound. If you make even the slightest sound, they'll know where you are and they're going to come for you. So basically everybody has to try and be as quiet as possible. But just to make things even more complicated, Emily Blunt's character happens to be pregnant and she's about to give birth to a baby any day now. And as we all know, babies are not quiet. So when the trailer for this movie came out, it really intrigued me in as much as there was barely any dialogue in it. It was really silent. And that intrigued me because, you know, I like things that are different, that we haven't seen before. And this looked like it could tick those boxes. And it really did. This is John Krasinski's first horror film. Like, he's directed 2 other feature films before this one, but this is his first time in a horror film. And man, it was good. It was really good. The tension and suspense was definitely up there. So this film really achieved a lot in such a minimalist kind of a way. It was basically one setting, just this group of characters, hardly any dialogue, and while it's not the scariest horror movie I've ever seen, yeah, I can tell there's going to be a lot of people out there who are definitely going to be freaked out by this movie and probably scream a lot through it. I thought the performances all around were absolutely fantastic. Krasinski's character, the father of the family, was just a really likable kind of a guy. You just really felt for him and the whole family. Emily Blunt was great in it, particularly some of the more harrowing scenes where she had to really evoke a lot of physical pain. Yeah, she did a great job, and I gotta hand it to the daughter of the family, who is deaf in the film. She was actually played by a deaf actress, and I thought she was remarkable, and I love the fact that she was deaf in real life. In the film, the family communicate through sign language, and, you know, even though that would be a way to get around these monsters attacking you, yeah, it sort of lent more credibility to the fact that they all had to do sign language because of this situation. I thought the creatures looked great. They kind of reminded me of like miniature versions of the Cloverfield monster with like these huge big long arms that they were getting around on. Yeah, I thought they looked pretty cool. They were menacing enough, and there were just a lot of cool little elements throughout the film that I thought were very clever and inventive. It was a good script. But there was one thing that really bothered me in this film, and it's not a huge spoiler. Look, you know that eventually she gives birth to this baby. You've seen it in the trailers. And the one thing that really bothered me in this film is that, you know, babies are not quiet little things. I've never actually made one before. Well, not that I'm aware of, but yeah, look, I know that these things, they cry, they make a lot of noise. Now, while they did address in this film the ways that this family were kind of suppressing the sound and stuff, and one way in particular was quite disturbing, but it was plausible given the circumstances that they were in. I still just couldn't buy the fact that anytime this baby was present, like, that it wasn't crying. And I know, like, the storyline with the baby, like, it takes place over a few days, I'm thinking. But I don't know, it just bothered me a lot. And I had one friend tell me that in the first couple of weeks, babies don't make a lot of noise. Someone else told me, yes, they do make a lot of noise. And yeah, I'm kind of thinking, like, I don't know, it just bothered me. So realistically, in my mind, they probably could have done away with the whole baby subplot, and yeah, this film would have been a lot better. As it was, look, it was a masterclass in show don't tell, the #1 screenwriting rule. Actually, I don't know if it's #1, but it's high on the list. The film really did achieve a hell of a lot with so little, and yeah, I definitely applauded the fact that they created a world, like a future that was just really believable. They gave us a lot of the story through imagery and stuff like that. They didn't just, you know, give a lot of heavy exposition. I probably would end up getting A Quiet Place on Blu-ray, maybe not day one on release, probably when it's a little bit cheaper. So yeah, look, I definitely did enjoy the film, and I'm going to give A Quiet Place an 8 out of 10. If it weren't for that damn baby subplot, this film would have been rated a lot higher. I sort of compare it to, you know, some recent contemporary horrors like Don't Breathe, Lights Out, those kind of films that are, yeah, doing really well. Like, we're sort of in this new resurgence of good horror films, and yeah, I definitely put this one up there. And while I'm at it, I'm going to use this opportunity to plug some new shirt designs that I've made that are on my Redbubble store. Yeah, some people have been buying these shirts, and I really appreciate it. So if you're after any of these awesome t-shirts, the link is also down below to my Redbubble store, so go ahead and check that out. So over to you guys, what did you think of A Quiet Place? If you've seen it, I'd love to know what you thought about it. What did you think about that whole baby subplot? Drop me some comments either here or on Facebook. All the social media links are in the description below because I like to talk about movies, and I would love to talk about movies with you. Catch you next time.
Click subscribe to stay up to date with all the latest movie reviews. Skynet will be taking over any day now, so what have you got to lose? Nyah.